Hey, great day, guys. This is Sawan Belcher. This is me taking action on Instagram. And today, we kind of got the house here just so you can see it, but I'm coming to report out, okay, on my first refinance. I know I haven't ever done this, and but what the method is called a BRRRR, okay? You buy the property, okay? You rehab the property, then you rent the property, then you refinance the property, and you repeat the process. So this is like my first BRRRR, and I did 4 properties at one time. So if you guys go back to the video with the one that I had in Gorell Street, you guys will kind of see the process that I was going through as far as what I had to do as far as credit goes, what I had to do as far as getting my taxes right. And now I just want to bring up 3 things that I could have done better to make this process a little bit easier for me, and hopefully you can use it in your business so you can buy property with other people's money, then refinance them out of it to pay them back with their interest, and now you're 0 money into the game, and now you have a long-term buy and hold rental property that can cash flow every single month with none of your own money in it. Okay, so 3 things that I wish I could have done better. Okay, it's number 1 is the documentation of it, okay, the bookkeeping of it, because every single month you're paying whatever lender you have, private money or traditional bank, or the seller who you originally purchased it from. You need to keep accurate documents about how you're paying them. Okay, one thing that what we do right now is we do like a direct deposit. Okay, now the only thing that I should have done differently about the direct deposit is instead of under payroll, it should have been under ACH. Okay, and then every month that we pay them, it needs to be on the same day. Okay, and it also needs to be labeled as ACH, and you label that payment for this property to this lender. Okay, you got to be that detailed because your underwriter for the loan is going to want to see that you're making those payments, not someone else, or not, or you're not using some drug money, okay, to pay your mortgages off. Okay, they're trying to do their best to make sure they can see a direct breadcrumb trail of where you paid for those mortgages for the last X amount of time that you were in it. Okay, number 2 thing is with the appraisals. Okay, now I do this for a living, so I know my neighborhoods. I buy in certain areas, so I know what the values are. But some of my appraisals came low. Okay, we started off with 10 properties, we ended up with 4 going through in the first refinance, and 3 of those appraised low. Here's why. Number 1, the first appraiser, he was using comps 2 miles out. Okay, he could have easily looked at comps that was closer in, but that was my fault. What I'll do better next time is whenever the appraiser calls me and gives me his email address and contact information, I'll go ahead and have my realtor get me comps, okay? And I'll look over those comps and verify that they're similar bedrooms, similar baths, and similar square feet, and similar year built, and also similar like make, as far as like size, and like what it's made of, as far as like brick or siding, things like that. Okay, I'll go ahead and send him comps the night before he goes out versus him finding his own comps, because if we put them in front of him, boom, of course he's going to use those, and of course we're going to make sure our comps are as high as possible. So that's definitely the second thing that I'll change. I would send him comps beforehand, and then I would also want to be there with him to point out all of the different things that you've done, because when these properties are like, when a tenant moves in, he might have clothes everywhere covering something that you updated, and you want to be able to point that out. Okay, or this tenant might not be as clean, and you want to be there to point this out, that you did that, so he can add that in to how much the house is worth on paper. Okay, and the third thing that I wish I would have done a little bit better was talk to more banks. Okay, like interviewing banks to see what their criteria is, and also asking some of my investor friendly realtors, or some of my investors that I know in the area, who they're using to refi out their properties. And everything turned out great, and I love the process, and actually the broker that I ended up with was super creative and very good with investors, but I still wish I would have looked at other people's, because I probably could have negotiated better like fees with the brokers. Okay, and that's super important, because of course every fee comes out of the bottom line. Okay, so those are the 3 things that I would have done different about my refinance. Okay, now this strategy is called the BRRRR. Once again, buy it, rehab it, rent it, refinance it, and then repeat that process again. And you should be using this property to buy off-market properties, so that way you can buy and hold properties with none of your own money in it. Okay, let's get it. Is that good?
Yes, sir.
All right.